Hello everyone, welcome to another Chris Scrabble session. This will be a game of the week with doubleheader, 2 matches, both very tight, both pretty interesting. So let's get started. Here is one of my frequent opponents, Onyx77, with a really nice profile image there of the Italian flag as a heart, and a nice message on it too. So as they are starting, they have no vowels, so it's a trade for them. And I have decent letters, and I have a couple options. I guess I have reach, but I decided to play chair instead, keep the E. And that's 26. Here they have still no vowels, but a decent play for them, 27 for zip. And I'm seeing a vowel, or a blank, with some reasonable letters. 2 S's is always pretty good. And I think if they hadn't blocked that R in chair, I would have had trustees. But as it is, I just play us to kind of wait for next time. Hopefully there'll be something. And they're still having vowel trouble. So they play earn just for 3 points, trying to wait things out. And now I play my bonus play. Steer is where I'm starting, and I've got an extra E, and I've got a blank. So I played steerer, but I really should have played steered, because look what they play next. They got an S, and you know, I've already had 2 S's because I wasn't thinking they might have an S, but here it is, and bikes for 40. So it's a pretty close game. Now here's my nice tray, a little tricky, you know, minutest. Looks like it might work if I could get an N somewhere, but or if one of those T's was an N, then minutes. But as it works out, I just play that. Emu, could have played it there, could have played it 1 higher. And that's now back to them. Pretty good tray. And that's a pretty good play. So they're making a little bit of progress, getting back. So down by 32. Now I'm still trying to figure out what's my best option here. Don't want to get too close to the triple words over there. So I see an option to get down from there. So 20 points for covet. Now, they're still looking really good with their set, and I think they just kind of joined me on that left side going down. And now I'm sitting there with the problems with my distribution, 3 A's, 2 T's, and what should I do with those? So I just try to get down, use that Z for a little bonus points, dump a couple letters, 14 points. And they're sitting with still really good letters. You know, they've got feudal on there, but no place to play it. But they do have this really nice play. Look at that. Down there to make vowels and where for 25. This is an experienced player. He's very, very crafty. Now, so it's a 22-point game. He's gaining in me, you know, a little bit each time, seems like. Okay, so now I decide, go ahead and put my S on the front of tar and get over to the double word with gates. Not big points, but it's something. Get some new letters. Maybe things will turn up and look better. They're still sitting there with feudal, but probably no place to put it. But look, if is a good play right there. And it's only a 10-point game. Now I've got the X, and that's a good draw for me. So that gives me another chance to pop out ahead, because look where that fits down there, 54 points. Now he's still coming, as it turns out. Pretty decent letters. Lax is over there, and that's just a little bit of a curious play. And now I've got these tiles, and I go for points, but I open up the triple word in the corner, and I really probably should have been more conservative and gotten on with Vig up in the upper left, down across the double word, but I went with V down there for 24, and look what they have to throw on there. They probably had lots of options, just the right set, you know, to get down to that triple word for big points. Day for 43, and now my lead isn't so big again. It's down to 35. So, and look at my draw. It's not great. I've got 3 O's, 3 other vowels, and a Y. So almost nothing to play here. I go ahead and just throw yo over there, thinking that's harmless out of the way. But it actually heads right into his play, which he can still play with choir there, and just give him an extra 6 points for, matching up that U on the end there. So 54 points, and he pops ahead by 6. Now I'm still in bad shape with too many vowels. So it is, tough to say exactly what's the right play here, but that seems like the only real option. It does kind of open up the triple word. I get 17 for it, pop back ahead. And here they are with gloom and good and mood and doom, all kinds of options, and they just get over with that to cover the triple word. Good defense. Now I'm sitting there still not seeing all kinds of great options. I don't seem to have any 4-letter play that I can see. And wig, I guess, could be, but I just wind up with toe over there. I still pop ahead a little bit. They got another O. Boy, all these O's are coming at this time in the game, seems like. And they head down there and get that, which is reasonable, 22 points. I'm starting to wonder what is my best option. Still 2 O's. So I just go with of up here. Just kind of very low point plays, keeping in the game. And they pick another kind of a low point play with Joe. And then finally I get a decent play, and I get over here with coiled. Now, let me just back that up a second. Why did I not think of something like this? That is 32 points. Coiled was 35, but Dow is a little safer. It can't be extended over where you will see it does get extended later. So let's keep moving, get to that point in the game. And coiled we had, and then he's covering up the triple word for reasonable points, 21. And it's a very tight match now, 3-point match. So I only have the 1 E, but I have a nice place to get points with it. Heel for 26 down there. And now you would think I've got my tray looking reasonable. I've got 2 vowels, 6 letters, pretty good letters. I don't know about bunger, maybe bungee jumping. I'm not sure, but it seems like I've got hope until their final play, which ends the game. Tanners across there to that cow to get scow. Like I said, it should have been a D, but it wasn't. And they pull ahead and win the game. And with my extra tiles on the tray, on my tray, it goes up to a 45-point game. Okay, that was match number 1. Let's get rolling with match number 2. Okay, here we go with match number 2 in our doubleheader for this week's Game of the Week. And I'm starting out. It's a 12-minute clock for us. And I've got a 6-letter play to get on the board to start us. And they're sitting there with kind of tough letters, 3 A's, 2 B's. They get on with that. That's not too bad for 15 points. And now I don't have a vowel. And so I try to figure out what's my best play. And I get R and Y on the front there for 12. Could have gotten Barry going down with 2 R's and a Y. And now look at this for them. What is the best play here? And this is a nice little one to remember. Oba. We don't see that one all the time. Get that B on the triple letter. So now I have 2 E's and a Q. And I can't see any real good options to get that Q out there. But these words that are stacking up over here in the upper right direction do let an E go on the end there. So let's try this. 17 points. Okay. Now they're sitting there with a nice set and a blank and one of our favorite prefixes, which is out. And outrated gives them 60 points. But look at what I drew. I drew just the tiles to play up to that triple word, or down from it. So wax for 48. And it's a 6-point game. So didn't hurt too much, that 7-letter play after all. Okay, now they are sitting there with the Z, I and U, kind of a tricky set, but potential for points for sure. But they don't get the Z out there now. They just play mu for 10. Okay, now I'm sitting there with a Q, and I've got an I that goes with it. And I think about it for a hot second up here in the corner, but then you can put an I here, and that turns into some points. So I think this is a safe place over here, and I put it here for 24. And it's an 8-point game. But not for long, because look what they can do now. They can throw an I under that and throw a Z on the triple letter for 49. And it's a 41-point game suddenly. And so I don't know if I could have really seen that one coming, but I sure didn't. And maybe it just isn't something you would expect, I guess. But pretty big points. And I've got an E, and pretty friendly consonants, but a few too many of them. And lend is what I decided to play up there. Kind of opens up both of the triple words. And they are able to get down to that one for 18. So we're a little bit back and forth, but they fold ahead with zig, so I'm down by 42. Okay, now what to play? So I see a good little play with that Z. Now, it's good to keep track of some of these oddball Z words. So Zori is a sandal, and so Zori's works. And that's 28 points in that case. All right, now they're sitting up there, and they could have put high up on the triple word up there to block it, but they in turn instead determined that they'd rather change. So they changed 4, and now I'm stuck with no vowels. But thankfully they didn't block me because I had a pretty good play, pick, for 24. And I pulled ahead by 10. So now they can get on that triple word up in the corner and pull back ahead with hid. And now I can play down to the triple word in the lower left corner with moper and get ahead. So it's back and forth very much right here. So 20-point lead for me at this point. And triple words are covered at this point. So now we're going to have to find other ways to get points. So Flint over there for 16. And they get within 4. And I see an option with the S's now. I've got both S's, or 2 S's. And I could have put fast or fasts, but I realized that maybe my best play is just faz here for 25. And I pull ahead by 29. Okay, now they have a decent play over here to keep up. 24. Very tight, 5-point game. So now we're looking at what can I do on kind of a tough board to find anything where I can get some points. It's just not easy to see. Flint isn't easy to get something off, for good points. I could put lift up there, but I look over toward this play haw, and I see a way to get down to the double word below it with a 6-letter play, tonsil. So that just helps me keep pace, sort of, so I pull back ahead by about what I was ahead by. And now a blank for them, and otherwise not great letters, a V and a U, which just do not go together well. I mean, love, L-U-V, does play sometimes, but they go ahead and get out there on the board with vials, pretty good play. And unfortunately for them, though, it really opens up something nice for me, because I don't have great options until they throw that O next to the double word, and I get joy on there for 26. So I'm staying ahead. 38 points by now. I'm ahead. Now look at this tricky set for them. Only the U, but the blank, 2 D's and a C. Ooh, just tricky stuff. They make a pretty reasonable play here and get cult out there. Keep the 2 D's, which, sometimes those work together well, 2 D's. And 12 points, and it's 26-point lead. Okay, now. Okay, picking back up. Here we go. It's my turn again with this set. And I'm nervous about what happened last game, because I know there's still an S out there. Look at all those good letters, and I think they probably have a 7-letter play. So I decide I better not let anybody put an S on the end of that, even if it's not the greatest defense. against the triple word, I'm going to go ahead and play this, right? Now, they can definitely get into that triple word in the corner and get some really good points. I'm up by a fair amount here, but what decision do they make? I think the play to make would have been DA. So let's see what happens when we do that. 25. Okay, that's pretty good, but what did they do instead? Raspy for 28, and they burned that blank. Now I think they may have been just a little bit disappointed because of my play, because take a look here. If you look at that tray, and supposing I had not played nip, do you see something that would come across under tonsil and end in the S? I think you do, danders, right? So I just knocked out their play with some defense on my side and might have put them in a foul mood or something, because then they played this raspy, which was probably a mistake. They should have just played the DA for 25, kept the blank, and hoped for the next draw for their side. Because look at my tray. Not pretty. 4 E's. And what am I going to do with those? Well, at this point, I think my best play is vice up there. Can't really be stretched up to that triple word, and the V is tough to get into. They could if they wanted, but that's their end, and I'm sitting with my end. And now pay a little attention here. What they drew were the A and the G. Okay? Now, keep with me here. If they had played a DA, then they would have had R, S, and blank still on their tray, with a D, N, and a G and an A. And look at this up here. I think they could have had drawings, and they could have smoked me at the end, just like the last guy. But because they played raspy, and now they have fewer than 7 on their tray, there is no 50-point bonus coming. And they got to make up 32 points, and it's not going to happen. So here's what they get. Nada, 15 points, so it's a 17-point lead. And I can get all but one of my tiles on the board in playing T there for 12 points. Now, they can get out, but they cannot make up the ground. So 7 more points for them. They get 1 more point off my tray, so 1 plus 1, so 2 points. And it is a 20-point victory on my side. Okay, very similar game to the last one, but this time defense paid off. Hope you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the Chris Scrabble Sessions. I'd like to say a big thank you to isc.ro for hosting the games. Identities of all the players are hidden to protect the guilty. We do pledge to keep a clean language standard on this channel. If you'd like to challenge me, I'm out there at ISC with the nickname Cristobal. If you'd like me to review one of your games, drop me a line on ISC or at chriscrabble@gmail.com.